Thank you, gentlemen. This is rumor control. Here are the facts.
Short intro. There you go. See, I am Mr. Efficiency today. Before we get started, I want to make sure you guys already know that I did an a talk with George Gammon about 2 days ago on his channel. I will post the link to it in the description below, so you guys can go have a look at that. It was about a 2-hour long talk, and man, it was that not to pat myself on the back too much, but I think it was a pretty good talk. It's certainly one of my favorites thus far in 2021. So be sure you go and check that out. Also, Rational Male Religion is available on Amazon, as you can see right there. And it's available on Amazon, it's available on Kindle, and it's available in print. The Audible version is just about done. I know that Sam Bada, my reader, is working on it diligently right now, so please bear with us for the time being. It's a 400-page book, so it's a fairly long read for Sam. So that said, I want to jump into today's topic. I know a lot of people have, here's today's topic, right? I know a lot of people have been talking about the Lolo Jones story, because Lolo Jones is 38 years old. If you are unfamiliar with Lolo, she is a nice, good Christian girl, and she is 38 now. She is a former U.S. Olympic track runner, I believe. I don't know if she ever medaled. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've actually kept track of Lolo. And she was also on the U.S. bobsled team, if I'm not mistaken, because they need good, fast runners. And that's what she is. Very athletic, very good looking girl. As far as on the Tomasi scale, I've said she's about a good 7.5, somewhere around there. And even at 38, she's still a good looking girl. So why is she in the news right now? Well, we need to rewind the tape here. Now, before I get too deep into it here, I know that there have been some other guys, like I know Joker from Better Bachelor has already talked about this. I think maybe even Donovan Sharp's already sort of touched on the Lolo Jones thing. The only reason I'm not trying to flex on anybody, I'm not trying to put anybody on blast or anything like that, but I do have my own take on this. And the reason why I do have my own take on this is because way back, let's rewind the tape, all the way back to 2012, I wrote about Lolo Jones on The Rational Male. So here's your insert the joke about how there's always an essay for every topic that has ever existed on The Rational Male. So yes, I have actually written directly about her, but this was back in 2012. So we're looking at 9 years ago, just about. And the reason why she was in the news back then was because she was 29 years old. And of course, that's the beginning of the epiphany phase, as most of you are probably aware of if you've read my first or second book. And so she kind of popped up on my radar, and nice enough girl. I mean, I thought, wow. I mean, remember, this is 2012. Okay. This is almost a decade ago. And I wrote a full essay about this, blog post, essay, whatever you want to call, article, about Lolo Jones. Now, the reason why I used her as the example was because she was a very good example of what I was sort of delving into at that time, called the adolescent social skill set. And I have become a little bit more sensitive to that concept recently, as a result of being on the Fresh Fit podcast, talking to women who are between the ages of 18 and 38. So you're looking at a 20-year span right there, and even a little bit older than that. So I think the oldest woman that I have encountered on that show when I was out there in Miami was 37 or 38. I'm not really sure, but close enough. Okay. So we've got Lolo Jones at 38 years old, who is now in the news again. And like, you can go ahead and have a look at, like, and if you're, I'll give you a plug, go look at Joker's on Better Bachelor, his take on this. Now, the reason why I wanted to dig into this is because I think we're kind of getting lost in the weeds with this one. We are so sensitive to wanting to put women on blast or hold them accountable that when we see a woman who is the age of, say, Lolo Jones, who's 38, going on 39, actually going on 12, we have to look at the circumstances that sort of brought her to where she is right now. It is far too easy for us to say, well, she's just the product of this age of women being entitled in this hubristic, want for the best of the best, and she's just too picky, and she just can't find the right guy. Well, no, that's not actually why. Not in her case. Simply put, she has decided that she wanted to be, she's an evangelical Christian, right? She decided that she wanted to save herself for marriage. Is that not the commendable thing that we keep talking about? Is that not what tradcons want? Is that not what everyone says? Oh, I don't want a woman who's all ran through. Okay, she's not run through. I mean, according to at least popular opinion anyways, she's still at 37 or 38. She was interviewed saying that she was still a virgin. Well, if that's the case, it's not necessarily so much a picky thing. It's like, where are all the guys who keep saying that they want some like virgin bride? Here she is. She's 37. She's 38 years old. Why? Where are you? What are you doing? I'm not putting anybody on blast in this particular episode, but we need to rewind the tape here. So we're going to go back to my essay, and I'm going to put this back up on the screen here. I'll come back up. And this is called The Adolescent Social Skills Set. And I wrote this like July 9th, 2012. And there's our good girl, Lolo Jones, as you can see, because I used her same picture for the thumbnail for this one. Okay. I'm not going to get, I was just kind of being a little jovial, I guess, here in the beginning here. Unfortunately, the games. Okay, so I was talking about like the Olympic Games and everything that was going on right here. So it was with a bit of non-Olympic interest that I became peripherally aware of the Lolo Jones story. Okay, I had a friend. I think he's still around. This guy Grit Artesian. He wrote a really good breakdown about this during that time. Now, people were making a big deal out of Lolo Jones then because she had decided that she was going to be a virgin. She and Tim Tebow at that time were both kind of the poster children for being the good Christian, good evangelical. We've made the right decisions to, reserve our sexuality for our husbands and our wives for later on in life. Now, remember, at the time of this writing, Lolo Jones is 29 years old. I don't know exactly how old Tim Tebow was back then. However, they are most definitely in their 20s, and they're definitely even Lolo Jones was just on this side of 30. So now she's just this side of 40, and things have changed a bit. So Grit Artesian had a pretty good breakdown about our newest American feel-good Olympic hopeful. Win or lose, expect her to see more of her plastered on a lot of sportswear, cereal boxes, and energy drinks advertising for the next 8 months. She also did at this time in 2012, and again, one of the reasons why I said she's a solid HB7, she was doing some cover shots for Outside Magazine and maybe even Runner Magazine at that time. There was a lot of, it was interesting to me anyways, because she was doing a lot of these kind of sexy photos in swimsuits or in like track outfits and stuff. I mean, she's in good shape. She's, okay. But I thought it was kind of interesting that was something that she, advertising herself sexually, but yet she was reserving herself, let's just say, reserving her virginity for her husband, which, okay, if that's your thing, that should be the honorable way of thinking about all of this good stuff. Okay, so before you get the wrong impression, my intent in beginning this post off by drawing attention to Lolo isn't to eviscerate her. I actually kind of like her. I actually still do kind of like her. Minus the man jaw. She's a solid HB 7.5 on the rigorous Tomasi scale, mainly because she's got the athletic appeal that I like, but she also seems genuinely likable. Even today, she still seems like, poor girl. You're kind of caught in the gears of, the girls you're going to probably see on Fresh and Fit, right? You're going to see the girls who we are now holding accountable for not doing what Lolo Jones has done for for all of her life, in fact. If she is, in fact, a 37, 38, 39, whatever year old virgin, should she not be the girl that we are praising and holding up as a beacon of hope in 2021? So anyways, I use Lolo because she's a prime example of a socialization based on what I've called the adolescent social skill set. Okay. Now this was from Grit's post. He wrote this. He said, she considers her virginity a gift. Shock. That she wants to give her husband. She thinks it's the hardest thing she's ever done in her life, harder than college or training for the Olympics. She also realizes and acknowledges the past temptation and opportunities that she could have had sex. Okay. I think it's also important to note that in a feminine-centric media, they've used a 29-year-old Lolo's virgin status not only as a rallying cry for evangelically defined abstinence, but also as the typical and convenient male sexual response shaming device it loves so much. Okay, track and field fans or not, all women can lament in chorus with poor Lolo's quest to find the right guy. Certified trademark, registered trademark, amongst so many of the immature and uncontrollable sexually concerned boy men. It was on Twitter earlier this year. Now, again, I'm going back to Grit's post here. I'm quoting him. Earlier this year, where she first announced to her almost 55,000 fans on Twitter. She's probably got quite a bit more now. We're about 10 years later. She also said on the program that she has grown accustomed to being rejected by men as a result of her beliefs. Remember, this is 2012. This is a 29-year-old Lolo Jones. This is not the 38-year-old Lolo Jones who is bemoaning the same thing on Yahoo News and some other Vice and some of these other posts I'm going to get to as well. Okay.